Hello, welcome once again to another 623 sports presentation of Baseball 87. Christopher Glenn along with Carl Roseville from the West Campus of Roseville Area High School. Rocky Boyce at bat now for the Cardinals, just underway here.
The count is 1-1. Davis's first pitch was in the dirt. The second one was right over.
Davis on the mound for the Raiders. He'll be the #1 in the starting rotation for the Raiders. Last year, of course, we saw these Coon Rapids Cardinals against the Ramsey Rams, and the Cardinals won the conference last year.
Yeah, it wound up tied. The two teams split.
Ground ball, Davis. Over to Cornforth at first. There's one away.
Two teams split. Coon Rapids got the conference because the difference in runs. They beat Ramsey by more than Ramsey beat them.
Ramsey had a chance to 10-run them last year, but they weren't successful at that.
Yeah, very close last year. They just couldn't get through. Kelly Bakke up. He's in left field tonight, batting second.
Here's a pitch from Davis. Bakke, left-handed hitter. And a pitch from Davis. Big swing and a miss.
Davis's catcher is Matt Fortuna. He is a co-captain.
And of course, going around the infield for the Raiders, Robbie Roper at third, Chick Pojar, shortstop. Grant Anderson, second base, and of course, Brian Cornforth, a big strikeout there for Kelly Bakke. They'll be two away for the Raiders. The wind is coming in from right field.
And this is Matt Anthony. We expected to see him open up pitching, but Coon Rapids decided to go with Kip Jacobson.
And Davis now with the delivery to Matt Anthony. Swing and a miss there by Matt Anthony. Here's a pitch. Strike two now.
So his breaking ball is working. It's got a lot of junk. It moves very well.
Having some difficulties with our camera so far. I don't think you could ask for both nice weather and nice equipment at the same time.
Well, Davis retiring Anthony, and that'll be the end of the top of the first inning.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and we'll be back for the bottom of the first right after this.
When I was doing cocaine, I got so selfish. I wish I didn't have no one, no kids, no parents, no people who loved me. I didn't care about nothing. That's how crazy it was. I just couldn't get enough. And you know what? Cocaine's not hip. It's hype. Anyone who tells you it's okay is a liar.
Call.
Number was 5. Left-handed hitter, Jacobson. And that one catches the inside.
Jacobson was scheduled to bat in the order. He said he wanted to concentrate on his pitching. So they scratched him, let Quinn hit for himself.
Bunt down, rolls foul for Robbie Null.
Well, we know Null has speed, stole quite a few bases last year, as well as Enan and Ton.
And we have a JV game across the way as well, as usually is the case. Usually the varsity players hit their home runs into the junior varsity field. Jacobson on the mound. Pitching 1-1. Robbie Null. Gets in the dirt. Kent Enan in the batter's box comes over to throw that one in.
Rocky Boyce behind the plate is a very, very good catcher. I believe he's a senior this year.
Going around the infield for the Cardinals, Chris Green at third base. Anthony over at shortstop, of course. John Quinn at second base. And Mark Struve over at first, the pitch. That one's outside. I believe the count now goes to 2-2. Null steps back in. And Jacobson with the delivery. Fouled off by Null. That'll keep the count at 2-2. The outfield for the Cardinals, Kelly Bakke out in left field. We saw him strike out in the first inning. Sean Christie in center. And Scott Alexander, the right fielder. Jacobson steps off the mound. We're lucky we've had a lot of strikeouts here, Carl, because we're working with one camera so far. Technical difficulties. Null steps back into the box. Here's a pitch. Low swinger, gets by, goes to second base, fielded by John Quinn. And Robbie's safe at first. John Quinn had a bit of trouble fielding that one.
Well, we're going to call that an error or a hit, Chris?
I think that was an error. He could have had a lot of speed. He fumbled it, so Null does have speed, but anytime you can have a good chance to field it, he bumbled it a couple times. And so that brings up Kent Enan. And so a man on first with none away here in the bottom of the first inning for the Roseville Raiders.
We know John Strand likes to have his players bunt or steal, and Null's very capable.
We could very well see that here.
So, of course, watch out when you got men on first and third.
Watch out for Rocky Boyce as well. Boyce behind the plate has been able to gun off a lot of players in the previous season trying to steal, attempted steals that failed. Throw over to first by Jacobson, and Robbie's back in time.
I think Jacobson is aware that Null has speed.
Another throw over, trying to keep Robbie Null close. Couple token tosses. Null taking his steps over at first. Enan waiting for the pitch. And here it is. Swung on, and that one looks to be foul down the left field line. That'll make the count 0-1 on Kent Enan. Jacobson taking Matt Anthony's old number, maybe. Matt Anthony used to be 33 in football, but baseball last year he was 16.
33 this year. 14, of course, in basketball.
Enan, 0-1. The count on him. Jacobson with the pitch. That's down low in the dirt. Robbie Null will stay where he is. Makes it a 1-1 count. None away here. Bottom of the first inning. Johnny Strand giving the signals over at third base, acting as third base coach. Jacobson with a pitch. Hard hit ball, line drive, back over to first, and Null's back in time, but a line out for Kentine, and nice fielding play there by Chris Green over at third base.
Heads up, he nearly got Null off base that time. Ian with a good rip at the ball. Hitting the opposite way.
Jacobson, one down. Here's his pitch. Swung on there by Tunn. Null back over at first. Tunn, solid hit to center field. John Christie back to get it. He's under it. And he's got it. There's two away. Null runs back to first.
Tunn got the bat on that one. Wind held it up a little. The wind is blowing in from left field. Fairly substantial.
No hits so far in the game for the Raiders. Robbie Null, of course, reaching first on the air. And stepping in now will be Cornforth. Brian's a right-handed hitter, stepping into the box. And here's a pitch. Cornforth stepping back in. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Cornforth goes down. 2 strikes.
When Cornforth connects, we've seen him hit him quite a ways in Legion.
You'll see Cornforth getting a lot of strikeouts during the season. But of course, all home run hitters have that tendency. Null back to first in time. Robbie taking his lead at first. Jacobson with the pitch. Fouled back.
It reached the highway.
Ran over by a blue semi.
No cars damaged.
And of course the horns honking at us as they always do. The pitch. Cornforth connects. That one looks like it might be foul. He's going back to the wall. Is it going to blow foul? Yes. If there was no wind coming directly from that side, Carl, I think that one might have made it out of there.
Well, there you see Brian connecting on one. He's very capable of doing that quite a lot this year. I'm sure we'll see that several times. He pulls the ball.
If you're going to swing pan like that, you got to be swinged out all the way. So Cornforth still at bat. Null still at first base. And the pitch, swing and a miss there by Cornforth. Strike 3, that's going to end it for the Raiders. No hits in that inning, no outs. An error there for the Coon Rapids Cardinals, and we'll be back with no score after 1 complete.
Drinking when people that drank that they look sleep in the woods. If I didn't sleep in the woods, I slept on the corner. If I didn't sleep on the corner, I slept at someone's house who I didn't even know.
Hey, yo, alcohol is a drug, and you can get hooked on it. And the younger you start, the more damage you can do.
If you want to be somebody, have a family, have a future, just say no.
Say no and say yes to your life.
Top of the second inning here from the field in Roseville. Alexander at bat now. Swung on. That's going back. Robbie Roper over his head. He's going to come up on it. And, oh, just out of his reach, made a diving attempt for it.
Rob playing third base this year. We saw him play in American Legion. I believe he played second base a few games. Good crowd on hand. Very nice day out.
And Carl, this is an extensive roster for the Coon Rapids team. They must
I
have the
believe-
JV players on that
I
as well.
believe that's varsity and JV. They switch some back and forth, so I managed to just keep them all on.
Which means the varsity gets the first choice of jerseys, and anything left over goes to the JV. Swing and a miss there by Alexander. We saw the Coon Rapids hockey team have numbers like 98, 77. We see these numbers going all the way up into the 50s. You will rarely see that in these leagues, anything going over 25 usually. Coon Rapids seems to deviate from that. The pitch, and that's a ball. Count goes to 2-1. Or 1-2, I believe, is the count.
Whoever picked these gray jerseys for Roseville, they look sharp.
And here's a pitch from Davis. Swung on, fouled back. Another one, Souvenir back on the highway. And a pitch from Davis. Two and two count. That one's down low. Full count now. 3-2. Alexander, leadoff hitter here in the second inning. Opportunity to get on base either with a walk or a hit if he may. I doubt he'll be swinging unless it's right in there. He's a 3-2 count, so he's gonna have to swing at anything pretty much. He'll take that one. Davis over to first, corner fourth in time. There's one away.
Alexander going out 1-3, brings up the DH, Angels.
I think this is one of the nicest days we've ever had for baseball in April.
Yeah, I remember wearing winter jackets and gloves, Chris. This is great. T-shirt and shorts.
That one's in there. The designated hitter up at bat now, Anslek.
He's hitting for Kip Jacobson.
Greg Anslek. 0-1 the count. And that one's down low. Count goes to 1-1. Nobody on base for the Cardinals. No hits by either team. So far, the top of the second inning, the pitch by Davis. Swing and a miss there. That's going to make it 0-2. 1-2 rather. The pitch. 2-2 count. Ground ball gets through Davis, picked up at second and mishandled. So a short hopper there, Grant Anderson.
Should we call that a hit, Chris?
I think we'll call that a hit.
Yeah, I don't think Grant had a chance to get him.
If he would have had a clean field at it, he might have had a chance of getting them, but there's no way we can award
gonna call that
an
an
error.
infield hit.
That's a definite infield hit. You find a lot of those in these at this level of play. It's easy to find a hole.
First hit of the game. Davis with 2 strikeouts.
So that brings up Sean Christie. That one gets by Fortuna. And that brings Anzalik to second. Davis. With the pitch. Swing and a miss. What's wrong, Nate?
Matt keeping it in front of him that time. No chance for Greg Anzel to advance.
What's wrong, Wayne? Is it fixed? Wayne? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Wayne? Can you hear me, though? Not through the air, can you? Okay. Okay. Davis. Anzalik on second. The pitch. Swung on ground ball. Roper, hot corner at third. Go all the way over to first in time.
Roper doing a good job bobbling it. Did not panic. He gunned him down. Good arm.
Explain the problem to me, Wayne.
2 outs. Man on second. Will bring up Mark Struve. He's the first baseman, batting right-handed.
I can't hear you. Yes? Davis on the mound. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. What's wrong, Wayne?
Runners will be going.
You have to speak
Runner in
into
this
the
case.
headset. It locks you. Why? That's what you're supposed to do.
Coon Rapids JV player just hit a home run. Little stoppage of action. Came over the orange center field fence. So they have a short center field out there.
Now is the Roseville team wearing the old Kellogg jerseys, it looks like.
Yeah, the old pinstripes.
The pitch from Davis. Swing and a miss. Go down to 0-2. The pitch down low. That makes it 1-2. Struve steps away for a moment. Anzalik taking his lead at second. Davis will step off. And here's a pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Struve protecting the plate. Count stays at 1-2. The pitch from Davis. That one's down in the dirt. Davis had an 0-2 count, but he seems to be losing it here. And here's Davis's delivery. Swung on, ground ball, hits Davis. And no opportunity for Davis. He guns it over, but not in time. Cornforth was going to gun it back to third. So it came right off of Davis. That'll put men at the corners now. And that'll bring up Chris Green, the third baseman.
First and third, 2 outs. Sure, Sundstrom wants to get himself a run here.
Davis throw over to first. Green back in time. Or Struve, rather. More important than Green getting on base is his knocking one in here. Here's a pitch. That one's in there for a strike. Green was watching. Davis with the pitch. Down low. Called for a strike.
Moved very well. And
And now
Sundstrom wants to talk to Struve.
Timeout called by the Cardinals. And don't know what the possibility early in the season could be getting the calls mixed up. That's the only explanation.
Matt coming up to talk to Todd.
There are 2 outs here, so critical that Coon Rapids
Yeah, Sundstrom,
not strand somebody at third.
yeah, I was talking to Sundstrom before. He feels when he gets men on base, he needs to put runs in against Davis. He can end an inning quickly, picking up a few Ks.
Davis has that opportunity here. The count 2-2. And here's a pitch from Davis. And that's called for a ball. We got a full count here with 2 outs. Our 620 through Sky Cam just went overhead. And Davis, 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss, but it gets by Fortuna. And the run scores. That's going to make it 1-0. Coon Rapids Cardinals on top. Top of the second inning. And so conversation going on. I don't know what the conflict is.
Fastball and wild pitch.
The official rules say now that if it's a swing and a miss and a pass ball, the player must be safe at first. Or is that for a wild pitch? One or the other. But the referees obviously indicated that it was a wild pitch. Or was a pass ball, rather, one or the other. No, if it was a pass ball, I think he would have been forced to be safe at first. If it was a wild pitch, it's a ball anyway. He swings at it, he's got the run coming in. Either way, one run up on the board for the Cardinals. Davis with a pitch. Swung on, fouled back, way out of play. And way too far for Cornforth to go after it.
He's not going to be able to jump a fence and get it.
And Green steps back into the box. Davis now. Still 3-2 on Chris Green. The pitch. And that's down in the dirt. Well, I guess that'll make it 3-2. This referee doesn't like holding up his fingers. He goes straight from one finger to a fist. Here's a pitch. They call that one up high. A walk given away now by Davis.
A small strike zone today.
Men on first and second now. Davis in a bit of trouble here, trying to get out of the first half of the second inning.
Men on first and second. 2 outs. John Quinn, the second baseman, wasn't scheduled to bat, but Kip Jacobson decided he wanted to just pitch today.
That's in there for a strike. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, scooped up from the ground. That one's going straight into Pojar at shortstop. He makes the catch, and that gets the Raiders out of the inning. 1 run scored for the Coon Rapids Cardinals, and we'll be back right after this.
They say the best things in life are worth waiting for. Well, maybe, maybe not. But when I decided I wanted to go to college, I wanted to go right now. So I joined the Army National Guard. See, in the Guard, I get $5,000 for college, thanks to the new GI Bill. Plus, I got a $2,000 cash enlistment bonus. Plus, I get a regular paycheck. When you add it all up, I learn a minimum of $18,000 that I can put toward college. And that's not even the best part. The best part is, I serve 2 days a month, 2 weeks a year. And I serve right in my own hometown. So if you're in a hurry to start college, keep this in mind. In the Army National Guard, they not only give you the money for school, they also give you the time. Serve part-time, go to school full-time, and get $18,000 for college.
In the National Guard.
Welcome back. Bottom of the second inning. Robbie Roper at bat for the Raiders. There you see it for the Cardinals. Bottom of the second inning, they lead 1-0.
Okay, Wayne, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, there was. Okay, you're right. Yeah, it's all set.
2 hits, 1 error. Right, you're right, Wayne. Okay, can you bring up that other scoreboard, the line score that we just worked on? 4? The number 4 scoreboard, Wayne. Roper played for Rosetown, as you said earlier. Didn't see any action last year with the Ramsey Rams. Here's a pitch. Swung on, solid, gets by the infield, and a nice solid single there for Robbie Roper.
First Roseville hit of the day, coming in the bottom of the second. So Raiders have their leadoff runner on. Matt Fortuna is up. Hitting fell off a little last year. He was a starting catcher over at Kellogg.
And that'll bring up Fortuna. He didn't have a good year of hitting last year with Kellogg.
No, not a good year at all compared to what he had been doing previously. In the younger age levels, he was tearing up the leagues hitting-wise.
I actually played baseball with Matt quite a few years ago. Back in, I think, the 13-year-old Babe Ruth League or something. I warmed his bench for him or something like that. I think that's when it was, right after Little League. And so Kip Jacobson getting some reassurance from Rocky Boyce behind the plate. I think of all the players on this team, it's got to be Matt Anthony, Kip Jacobson, and Rocky Boyce really are the leaders.
Yeah, right down the middle. They are very, very good baseball players.
And so Fortuna steps back in. The throw over to first. Robbie Roper's back on time. Robbie Roper's got some speed as well, so we're going to have to watch him over on the base paths.
Yeah, John Strand, he likes to bunt. He likes to try to get sacrifice flies, anything he can do. Steal bases.
Usually in high school, those types of plays work better than anything else because players are more prone to make mental mistakes in the high school game. And I think John Strand really works at capitalizing upon that. Of course, the last few years, there's a bunt there laid down beautifully, and it does its purpose, a sacrifice bunt there for Matt Fortuna. And if you've seen where the Ramsey Ram teams have ended their season, it's always been against Cretin, and that is because Dennis Denning's teams don't make mental mistakes. And so that's when the Raiders have to play, or the Rams as it was, the Raiders are going to have to play a lot harder when they meet Cretin, because Cretin is one team that you rarely see make those mental mistakes.
And of course, a lot of that credit has to go to the coaching staff and the very good, excellent program they have down there.
I think Dennis Denning could coach at many different levels of the game. He could easily get a coaching job at a good college, but he's turned many offers down. Of course, some Cretan players, former Cretan players like Paul Molitor, thinks that he could coach at the pro level. He probably could, but he wouldn't go straight from high school to pro, I can tell you that.
It would be a big step.
He'd have to prove himself at the other level first.
Take more than a few years to do that.
So Todd Davis at bat for the Raiders. And here's a pitch. Outside for a ball. So Jacobson now, 1-1, the count to Todd Davis. Jacobson makes his move to Roper at second, but does not make the throw. You can't take the second. You can't talk either. And so Davis stepping back in.
Davis a pretty good hitter. Picked up quite a few ribbies last year. 1 out, Roper on second.
Here's a pitch from Jacobson. Davis watches that one go by for the ball. That makes the count 2-2 now. Now the referee will hold up 2 fingers as opposed to a fist. I guess he changes his notation a lot. And Jacobson on the mound. Here's his pitch. And Davis had stepped out, so that pitch is nullified. And if our picture looks bad on the tube, the grass is actually a bit brown here today. It's very young grass, of course, not having enough rain. I mean, in April, what do you expect? But the grass will get greener as the season goes on. Here's a pitch. That one's down low in the dirt. Robbie Roper will stay where he is. Davis steps out. That'll make it a full count now. And Jacobson steps back onto the mound. The throw back, Robbie's back in time. Roper wearing number 1. A lot of times you don't see that number on many teams.
Or a coach should have it.
Yeah. Or a goalie maybe in a hockey team. But that's about it. Here's a pitch, a big swing and a miss, and a big K for Todd Davis.
So 2 outs, they'll bring up Grant Anderson playing second base.
So Anderson comes up bottom of the second inning. And so Anderson eyeing John Strand for the signal. Makes his call, steps in. There you see Robbie Roper at second base. Jacobson with the pitch. And that's in there for a strike. 0-1 now the count. Anderson batting 8th in the lineup, but he can catch one out there too. Last year he played a bit of first base every once in a while, but a lot of pinch running.
Yeah, Grant Anderson has good speed.
And here's a pitch from Jacobson. That's up high. A count goes to 1-1.
I think Grant prefers second base, but of course last year, catcher, second base, shortstop, third base, there wasn't much room for anybody to move up.
Of course, the second and the third base shortstop combination for the Rams last year was probably the best in the conference, no doubt. And Swenson and Locker, really, you didn't get much by them.
I'm not sure if Charbonneau was the best second baseman. But you add John Jensen to that, and anybody at first base, really, you probably have the best infield in conference.
And so Jacobson now trying to control Anderson at the plate. Anderson steps in. Jacobson. Here's the pitch. That's up high for a ball. 2-1 now, the count to Anderson. Here's a pitch. Caught one by Anderson out in center field. Sean Christie is back there. He makes the catch, and that's going to retire it for the Cardinals after 2 complete. It's the Raiders down by 1. 1-0, the Cardinals on top. The Raiders down, the Cardinals on top. I'll be back.
In the Army National Guard, you can earn $18,000 for college. And you can start school right now. Go to school full-time by serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
Top of the 3rd inning. Davis with the pitch. And that's down low for a ball. Back to the top of the lineup, Rocky Boyce.
Bounced out. Pitcher to first last time at bat in the 1st inning.
Swung on. Solid single, Pojar. Caught it on the line drive.
I was waiting to pick that up in the outfield, Chris. Pochar nailing it. Bring up Kelly Bach. He struck out his first time at bat.
There's a pitch. Swing and a miss. You gotta stay zoom out. You have to follow the whole play. So I can't hear him. You don't even have to watch, you don't even have to see it in your monitor. Just feel it. You'll be right every time. The pitch from Davis. That's outside for a ball. But you should raise it a bit. You'll have a bit more control. I don't think. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 down now for the Cardinals.
Dave's had a lot of success against the top of the order. 1, 2, 3, first time up. And Man Anthony batting 3rd. Struck out first time. He was at shortstop today. Probably get a pitching spot a little later on this week. Pitch by Davis is in for a strike. Counting at 0-1.
Swung on. It's going to straddle the line. Davis over for it. He slips and falls, and the runner's safe at first, Matt Anthony. And the minor Coon Rapids crowd praises the situation there and decides they like it.
Well, they make a lot of noise over on the bench.
That'll bring up Alexander. Steve Alexander. Scott Alexander. Steve was his older brother, played a couple years ago for the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Carl's asking me what this is. You can see my scorecard here. I've been doodling the last between innings. Got an artistic representation of the stadium here. And the pitch from Davis. Fortuna, too high. That goes into center field. And if I was Alexander, I'd stay right there. He does. Or Anthony, rather.
Poger did not see him moving. Tuna was a little surprised to see no one where he was throwing the ball.
Pojar's got the clean-cut look for the baseball season.
Yeah, no long hair in back anymore.
Yeah, he kept his hair long all the way through the playoffs and got it cut after the state tournament. Hardly recognize him. Here's a pitch. And here's a pitch from Davis. Swung on, fouled back into the tennis courts. And is that playable? Ooh, he was about to play it when he saw it was a baseball. He decided he didn't want to ruin his racket.
Probably a little scuff mark on that baseball.
Alexander and Davis. And here's a pitch.
Another one lined off right back into the Roseville fan section.
I know that, Rich, but I mean, if the guy hits it, you have to be ready for it. Davis with the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Davis has it, shovels it over to first. That will advance the runner, but there's 3 away. And so after 2.5 complete, Cardinals on top, 2-1.
When I was doing cocaine, I got so selfish. I wish I didn't have no one. No kids, no parents, no people who loved me. I didn't care about nothing. That's how crazy it was. I just couldn't get enough. And you know what? Cocaine's not hip. It's hype. Anyone who tells you it's okay is a liar.
Call.
Chick Pojar now coming up to bat for the Raiders. Here's a pitch. Bring it up when you got it fixed, Wayne. Here's a pitch from Jacobson. Swung on, ground ball to shortstop, picked up by Anthony. Anthony will field it over to first. In time, there's 1 away.
Nice fielding by Anthony.
That'll bring up Robbie Null.
Rob reached first on an error in the first inning. One to nothing Cardinals.
Null taking the pitch inside. Count goes to 0-1. And Jacobson's 0-1 delivery, swung on by Null, ground ball to second base. Stopped at second by John Quinn, but he can't get it over to first in time. That'll bring up Kent Eden. And here's the pitch. Swung on by Enan, second base, stopped there by Quinn, double play possibility over to first in time. There's 2 down, and that's the end of the 3rd inning with the score, Coon Rapids on top, 1-0.
When you graduate from college, what will you be able to offer an employer?
I like working with people.
I really like working with people.
I really like people.
I'm a people person.
I'm eager.
I'm eager.
Eager. I think I'm eager.
And I was president of 5.
Offer an employer something meaningful, practical work experience. A nationwide college program called Co-op Education can give you that competitive edge.
And I'd even relocate.
Right, Co-op Education. It's the experience you need for the job you want.
Top of the fourth inning. The Cardinals on top by a run here. They took that run in the second, as you see. Up at bat now for the Cardinals. Greg Hanselik, the designated hitter.
Greg scored the only Coon Rapids run, the only run of the game. Came in on a wild pitch.
And here's the pitch from Davis. Down low in the dirt. Ground ball, Davis takes it over to first in time. That'll put one away in the top of the inning. Sean Christie, the center fielder, steps in. Nobody on. Here's a pitch. Swung on. Bloops it right along the middle. Picked up one-handed by Pojar over to first. And it is not in time. A dive off target throw. Pojar had to hurry it up, and that's what caused him to be off target there.
Took a bad hop on him. A nice bare hand catch, reaching back. Had to get rid of it quickly and drew Bryan off the base. Pretty good defense anyways.
That brings up Struve. And he'll come in with a man on first. Hanselik taking his lead, throw over to first. He's back in time just barely. The Roseville crowd does not concur with the call. Throw over. And Davis with the delivery. That makes the count 2-0. Fortuna the throw. Not in time. And so the speed of Sean Christie beats out the arm of Matt Fortuna. And it puts a man on second for the Cardinals.
Second stolen base for Coon Rapids. Christie with one, and Matt Anthony had one back in the top of the third.
A little later, we'll go through our choices for the conference standings. Of course, in state, I believe the preseason poll that came out in the Tribune said that the Raiders, they chose the Raiders 5th and the Cardinals 8th. Roper will take this one at third. The wind catches it a bit, but no problem for Roper. And that puts 2 away now for the Cardinals. Man on second base, and coming up to bat now will be Steve Green, or Chris Green, rather. We have Steve, Scott, and Chris now. I believe Chris has a younger brother as well. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss there by Green.
Davis putting some smoke on it.
That makes it an 0-1 count. Hanselik on second. The pitch swung on, ground ball. Davis should be able to field it. It's on the line, rolls foul.
Wise for Todd to let that one roll. Been very difficult to catch Green at first.
Davis back on the mound. And Green steps out. And here's a pitch. Swung on, fouled back onto the highway. I think if we go in that median on the highway, Carl, we'll find quite a few old baseballs from years ago. But I'm sure they comb that every once in a while. They do try to send somebody up there right away, but a lot of time they lose sight of the ball.
And even if they have a stool over there.
And I believe he hit the player, and so Chris Green is going to take one. The first hit by pitch for Davis.
And Chris Green looks pretty steamed, but
it always states in the rules that in order to get advancement on hit by pitch, you have to make an effort to get it out of the way. But I guess when Todd's fastballs come so fast, you will not see motion before it hits them. So
not much time.
Not much time at all.
Quinn popped up to Pojar first time.
That one's down low in the dirt.
Matt did a good job. He lost that one low, made it look like he had it, held the runners.
And so players on first and second. Davis eyeing the runners and delivers straight on for a strike. Players taking their leads. Davis with the delivery. Swing and a miss there. Drop ball by Fortuna. He's got to play somebody. He plays it over to first in time, and that's going to end the inning for the Raiders. No runs there for the Cardinals, but they still lead it 1-0.
In the Army National Guard, you can earn $18,000 for college, and you can start school right now. Go to school full-time by serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
Bottom of the fourth inning, line drive there. Jacobson over to first, and there's one away. Quick in and outs for us here. We don't have a chance, though, to get our brats. I think later on in the season we will, when we get out to Municipal Stadium. And here's a pitch. That one's fouled back, another one for the highway. And so Cornforth having to come back for it.
Brian really ripped one earlier over the fence, but it was just foul. What, 10 feet foul?
The wind really isn't favoring the hitters today at all. There's a nice solid swing, but it catches too much of the air, and coming underneath it, Matt Anthony should have it. And he does. There's two down.
Anything over there, Anthony will take. Chris Green is a very good fielder, but Anthony is a leader.
And that'll bring up Robbie Roper for the Raiders.
Roper had a hit in the second inning, one of only 2 Raider hits.
Here's a pitch. Swung on, solid hit into right field, but coming underneath it, Scott Alexander should have it. It's in the wind, and he does. And already, the half inning complete. We'll go to the top of the 5th right after this.
In the Army National Guard, you can earn $18,000 for college, and you can start school right now. Go to school full-time by serving part-time in the Army National Guard.
Welcome back. There you see Chris's and Carl's prediction for this season. I think, Carl, we picked the top 3 pretty closely. Roseville, Mounds View, and Coon Rapids, and of course we're seeing those 2 here tonight. The bottom half looks pretty much close. I think the only contradictory ones were probably teams that we didn't know too much about, but I think definitely those 3 teams are going to be in the race. Here's the pitch from Davis. And that one's taken away for a ball. Rocky Boyce at bat. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed by Boyce. Swung on. That's going to make it through the infield for a single. And so Boyce gets on his first hit of the day, going 1 for 3. And that'll bring up Kelly Bakke for the Coon Rapids Cardinals. And so Bakke steps in now. Davis with a pitch. Swung on. That should be Davis's. It's in the wind very high. He'll come underneath it, and he's got it. There's one away.
Matt Anthony, he reached first on an error in the 3rd inning, and then proceeded to advance to second on a stolen base. He bats left to protect his pitching arm.
Way too much room on the shot. Just 2 minutes. Here's a pitch. Picks one up off the ground, finds the same exact hole. That's going to bring Rocky Boyce around to third. He's going to come home, most likely. He's coming home. Rocky Boyce, he trips and falls, and he gets back up on his feet. He'll make it in home. He gets a run, but a bit of embarrassment with that one, too. Nice big triple. So a triple for the Cardinals.
Anthony on third base. 1 out. Boyce comes in with the run.
And so there you see Matt Anthony over at third base with Robbie Roper. And that'll bring up Scott Alexander. And here's a pitch. Swung on, fouled off. Man on third base. And only 1 away for the Cardinals. They have an opportunity to go up by 3 against these Roseville Raiders. The Raiders' hitting has been absolutely nil so far here today. And Todd Davis with a pitch. That one's down low, 1-1 count now. Alexander, left-handed hitter. I think the wind slightly favors him. The wind is really shifting, though. Davis's pitch, that's fouled back. And another one for the tennis courts.
Quite a few balls being lost today. That one can be retrieved.
It's another thing up at Anoka where they have solid forest. You'll never find those balls.
Alexander bouncing out pitcher to first both times at bat.
Swung on and missed. And that'll make the count 2-1 now. 2-2 rather. Against Matt Alexander, or Scott Alexander. Matt Alexander, of course, played football 2 years ago. Here's a pitch. Nice, solid swing. And Roper could still have a chance to gun him off. He does in time.
Big gun from Roper. It will score a run. Alexander picks up a ribby.
And so it's 3-0 now in favor of the Cardinals. And that'll bring up Greg Anzelik.
Two out, bases empty, 2 runs in for the Cardinals in the top of the 5th inning.
Here's a pitch from Davis. Swung on, swept off the ground, picked up by Pojar, and that's over to first in time. That's the end, of the middle rather, of the 5th inning. Coon Rapids, though, scores 2, and they're on top by a score of 3-0, Carl. It's a big margin. You didn't want to see that this early.
Yeah, Coon Rapids is looking very good right now. Roseville, Kip Jacobson is pitching a good game, and Roseville's going to have a hard time getting 3 runs on the board. They need get some runners in scoring position here right now.
Well, we'll see how many hits they can actually get right after this message. The Raiders will have Fortuna, Davis, and Anderson when we get back.
I sat in my apartment and turned on the gas. I was crazy from cocaine. I couldn't live without it. That wasn't me. It was somebody else. When I saw cocaine was more important than me, I woke up. Now I'm slapping myself with reality to stay strong. I'll be struggling for the rest of my life. Anyone tells you cocaine's not addictive, they lie.
Call 1-800-662-HELP.
Welcome back here in Roseville. 3-0 the score in favor of the Roseville Raiders. There you see Sam Rockwood, the coach of the American Legion Rosetown team here. And, of course, a lot of these players, prospects for him, of course. I suspect players like Roper will be back again, and, of course, Pojar. And, of course, Robbie Null again and Todd Davis playing summer ball with the Rosetown Legion.
Obliviously, Tuna there.
Matt Fortuna. I think also Rosetown had a good year last year. They got a chance to play against some of the best teams in the country, probably. They got to host the Midwest Regional. There's a pitch and a swing and a miss there by Fortuna.
Saw Fortuna lay down a nice bunt. I'm not sure if he has speed to beat one out for a base hit. So I think Matt will just hit away.
And that one's in there for a strike.
Nice pitch by Jacobson. He has his confidence today. Davis on deck.
Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Missed big. But I think if first baseman Mark Struve would have saw it, he wouldn't. He would have had a chance at it. Oh, interesting. And here's a pitch.
Two and two now. So Tuna picking up a couple balls.
Jacobson taking his time back on the mound. Nice, solid hit. Fortuna caught one big, but a nice catch by Sean Christie out in center field. Tuna had a chance for it, but no luck today.
Now Sean Christie right there. Roseville has hit quite a few balls very well, and Tuna getting a hold of that one, but Sean Christie doing an excellent job out in center field.
Todd Davis at bat now for the Raiders. He'll step in with one away in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Jacobson retiring 5 in a row now.
Only 2 hits allowed, or 2 hits allowed by Jacobson, 2 for the Raiders overall today, and that's, you can say that's
Quite
pretty terrible.
Quite a comparison.
That's not what John Strand wanted. He wanted some big hits. Jacobson, they threw him at the last minute. They took a look at who Roseville had and made their decision. We thought we'd see Anthony starting it off, but I think they have enough pitchers in Coon Rapids, and there's one away for Davis. They have enough pitchers that they can shift them around a bit. So of course, the first game of the season, there's no such thing as breaking rotation.
Yeah, that's true. However they want to start out. They may feel there's a better matchup with Matt Anthony pitching the next game and Jacobson going today.
There's John Strand, the head coach of the Raiders. And that'll bring up Grant Anderson. Anderson so far today has popped one out to the center fielder, a good solid hit, but Sean Christie was underneath it. And now it looks like an expose of shoe tying. John Quinn and Sean Christie, or rather Scott Alexander, all taking the opportunity to tie up their laces. 2 away now. Anderson takes the pitch. That's down low in the dirt. Count goes to 1-0.
Anderson flied out to Sean Christie, first time at bat in the 2nd inning.
Here's a pitch. It's in there for a strike. 1-1 count against Anderson. Jacobson going good so far. Those only 2 hits is a good day for him. Matt Anthony couldn't have done much better. Here's the pitch. I think the Raiders have really been their own enemy here, not being able to get the hits. They had some chances. Anderson fouls that one off. Makes it 1-2 now. John Strand trying to fire up his team. Jacobson with the pitch. Taken straight on. 2-2 count. And here's the pitch. That one catches the wind and comes on the inside. That's going to make it a full count now. 3-0 the score in favor of the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Jacobson having a good day on the mound. He's put out the last 5-6 batters. Here's a pitch. That one catches the inside, and Anderson's going to take a walk.
And Roseville has a base runner.
And I believe that's the first walk given up by Kip Jacobson so far on the day.
Just 1 walk. He's fanned 2 people. Davis and Cornforth being the victims.
And of course, Davis, on the other hand, as far as strikeouts go, has at least 4.
Yeah, that's 4.
Chick Pojar now steps in for the Raiders.
Interesting to see whether John Strand will be patient and try to have Pojar pick up a hit or send Grant Anderson.
With 2 away, he can run on anything in this type of a situation. I think he might just let Pojar hit away. Of course, even 1 run at this point, you got to go step by step. It's not like Las Vegas. You try to get it back in one big swing. Jacobson watching Anderson at first. Throw over again. Anderson easily back in time. Pojar back in. Jacobson lining it up. And here's a pitch. Catches him on the inside. It's going to make the count 2-0 against Pojar. And here's the pitch. That catches the inside. No, they call it a strike. That's going to make it 2-1 now against Pojar. Here's a pitch. Swing. That looks like a slap shot in hockey when Pojar coming off the season. And a nice diving catch made there by Scott Alexander to end the inning. After 5 innings complete, only 2 remaining. The Raiders are down by 3.
Or even love uses cocaine, and you still haven't told them how badly you feel about it. Well, there's no more time to look the other way. Cocaine and crack are addictive, and they kill. Please, don't be a part of the silent lie that says cocaine's okay. Speak from your heart and help save a life.
Cocaine, the big lie. Call 1-800-662-HELP.
There you see it, 3-0. The Raiders are on top. Or rather, the Cardinals are on top. The Raiders are on the bottom.
No wishful thinking there.
4 hits for the Cardinals, 3 runs. Each team has committed an error, but the Raiders only 1 hit, and I believe only now 2 hits against Kip Jacobson. And now for Coon Rapids, Sean Christie, the center fielder, steps in. Davis now with the pitch. Christie steps back in. Swung on, straight back to Davis. Davis picks it up over to first in time, 1 away. And that'll bring up Struve. And I've heard of people honking their horns every time we pass by, but the sirens now coming by, turning on, just because they drove by us, they decided to turn them on. And Davis now pitching to Struve. Here's a pitch. Inside for the ball. That'll go 1-0. The Raiders, if they can shut them down, will still need 3 runs. But defensively, they can't forget about their task either. They've got to hold Coon Rapids, and Coon Rapids have had some success in the latter innings here. Here's a pitch from Davis. Down low for a ball. And of course, if Davis gets into trouble, there's a couple relievers that John Strand could go to. One of which is out in center field right now, Robbie Null. And I saw Lovedahl earlier today. He'll be in the starting rotation. He's not dressed for today's game. But Nygaard as well will be on the sidelines waiting for his call. We're right in front of the bullpen, Carl, and so as of yet, you know,
nobody's been out here at all.
We'll always see it, and absolutely nobody's been out here yet.
Only people we've seen were Davis. That was during warm-ups.
Down low. That'll make it 2-2, or 3-2 rather, full count. That one looks like it was off the butt end of the bat, fouled back, protecting the plate. Keep the count full. Struve stepping in. If Struve hits clean, he'll have Chris Green to try to hit him home. If he doesn't hit clean, he'll have Chris Green to try to get something. Home run, maybe. And here comes Chris Green back up now.
Green walked and was hit by Davis. So he reached first base both times.
And here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back. And that's out of the stadium here. If the highway wasn't so close, it'd be an ideal place to put some bleachers all the way around here. You've got the hill for it.
Would not be a bad idea. Draw a few more people. You could see the game.
You could build a stadium here as good as Municipal, no problem. Here's the pitch. Catches the inside.
Municipal, huh?
Yeah, sure. Why not? But the back would have to be right along the highway, so. Here's the pitch. That catches the inside one more time. Dave was having some control problems on the inside there, Carl.
Early in the year, Davis probably still ironing a few things out.
Here's a pitch from Davis. Swing and a miss. Of course, we really get a kick out of all these ratings for the high schools. They really have nothing to do with anything except for statistics. I think they put them in a computer and kick them out.
Yeah, especially baseball. Last year's preseason baseball.
There's an equation. You take their record last year and then you incorporate the number of returning starters, and you're supposed to get their efficiency factor.
Well, that one's on the median, Chris.
And I don't know if we can see it here, but no.
Landed up.
I see a couple of cars, but
sort of by those yellow jugs up here.
yeah. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back.
Tuna has a play. Off his wrist. Difficult one to handle. The wind was blowing it around. Still 2 outs, nobody on.
Chris Green steps back in. Here's a pitch from Davis. Swung on, solid hit. And Enan watches it go foul there.
Could have had a play on it. The wind coming in from left field blew that one foul.
And so Green now taking a couple more swings. He'll step back in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Green. 3 away. That's going to end it for the Raiders. Raiders now have 2 more opportunities to put some run on the board. They're down by 3. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th right after this.
More and more families are moving closer and closer to our forests. That's why, if you're careless with fire when you go to the forest, you could burn a lot more than trees.
Welcome back to the stadium, as I guess I'll call it today, Carl, in Roseville. And there's a shadow of a cameraman. I think we're there too, and now you can see us on the other shot. Yeah. The van has got no decals on the side anymore. I think we might decide to paint Roseville schools on it this week or something. Maybe we could put ambulance, and then when we're late for these shoots, we could really just turn on the sirens. We got a siren in here, but that's an alarm system. We got some scores from some other games. I think in preseason, Roseville each team had an extensive preseason matchup. And of course, Carl, we had a chance to go see Cretin this Saturday, and that was an exciting matchup.
Yeah, Cretin came out on top of that one, 8-3 over Central. Cummings picked up the win. Matson was the losing pitcher for the Minutemen. A couple other scores from the city. St. Thomas beat Harding 9-8, and Johnson over Highland 13-3. One other note of interest, St. Agnes bombing Concordia Academy 16-4. Shea picked up the loss. Of course, he's a basketball player.
And how often, Carl, do we have the sun shining when we're doing these shoots? This is just great out here. I think
it's usually
like
raining out or something.
I think it's June. I think if it was 1 year ago, I think our hands would probably not be able to move right now, because last year we really could not move our hands after 5 innings of play.
We needed gloves last year.
Our cameraman would be about that, you know. I can't measure the amplitude of their shaking, but it was quite a bit. And I think this year, everybody knows about the wimpy winter, unless everybody went to Florida for a vacation. But I think we can expect a good spring, but I think it could be just as unpredictable. You never know when this weather's going to turn around.
Yeah, well, last thing I heard was I was just walking out the door is no rain in sight for days on end, so we're looking good all right.
Okay, I think we've gotten pretty lucky so far. The Raiders, though, they need 3 runs now, and they'll be coming up with, I believe, number 12, Robbie Null, if I can get these rosters changed around. Last year, Robbie was number 5, and so this year the rosters will be changed around quite a bit, numbers going on. And, of course, now we've seen some players who have been on the football team and the basketball team or the hockey team, and now we've got to
really lost number-wise.
Now we've got to memorize their baseball numbers. Okay, Null steps up to the plate now. And Jacobson being able to hold tight so far. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there by Null.
Rob 1 for 2. Reached base on an error and had an infield hit.
And here's the pitch. Bunted. And he might have found a spot. Yes, and he's safe. He's going to go on to second base. Jacobson had the opportunity if he could have got a clean throw off.
Yeah, Ronald set that one up very well. He took a big crack at the first one. I don't think he was, if it was a good pitch, he may have been trying to go for it. But he set it up very nicely. The infield was played back, and he was able to bunt that one right into the gap. And Kip Jacobson really did not have a good chance of getting that one at all.
And so that'll bring up Kent Enan. And Enan so far today has gotten a pair of outs. Now on second base, here's the pitch. Jacobson, Enan catches one hopper to first base. And there's the tag up. Null advances to third. And so the Raiders have their first run in scoring position with only one away.
Well, Enan doing what he had to. Hit it to the first base side of the infield.
The Raiders did get Roper around to second base, but he had no opportunity to score. There you see John Strand and Rob Null, guarded closely by Chris Green of the Cardinals. And so here's the pitch now to Enan. Or check that, of course. Mark Tunn. Enan grounded out. Tunner, of course, wore number 4 for the hockey season. Throw over to first. Null's back in time. Null taking his lead. Jacobson with a pitch. That's outside. Jacobson steps back onto the mound. Null free to take his lead. Testing Jacobson. And here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball, and now Jacobson trying to catch that outside corner a bit too much. 1-1 count from the referee. And Jacobson eyeing Null over at third base. One away, here's the pitch. Tunner with a big swing and a miss. That'll put 2 strikes up on Tunn, a 1-2 count.
Mark needs to get one out of the infield. Roseville needs to get something this inning. Can't go in 3 runs down in the bottom of the 7th.
Null taking his lead. The pitch. Taken inside, and that's going to make it, I believe, a full count. I think I'd much prefer a scoreboard as opposed to a referee and umpire giving me the calls.
Yeah. Couldn't really put one here. Sun would be shining right in, and if it was in the outfield.
And here's the pitch from Jacobson. Swing and a miss there by Mark Tunn, and it was a dropped ball by the catcher, but he tagged him out at first. So there's 2 away. They've got to score Null if they have any chance whatsoever of having an easy going in the 9th inning or the 7th inning in high school baseball. Of course, it's always possible, but I think it would be a real letdown if Null got all the way to third and didn't get in. The first base runner for the Raiders that got all the way to third base, and he's here in the 6th inning.
A little bit of dilemma here for Cornforth. He likes to swing away, but he needs to get something out of the infield. And that'll hurt right there. Kip Jacobson now ahead of him, 1-0, or 0-1.
Null taking his lead. The pitch to Cornforth. If he could catch one, Carl, I guess, yeah.
Yep, but he's in a hole, 0-2. come back 0-2 and wrap a 2-1
The
over
optimist,
left field.
the optimist would say his time has come. He's
Yeah.
overdue. Here's the pitch. He watches that one go by. Makes it count 1-2.
Jacobson picked up a little confidence, picking up those 2 quick strikes. He wants to get out of this inning.
And here's the pitch. Swung on, it's a nice hit, but it's gonna go a blooper. The only hope now is the sun. And a nice catch. There's 3 away, and Null does not score. The Coon Rapids Cardinals up top by 3. We'll be back for the last inning right after this.
When you graduate from college, what will you be able to offer an employer?
I like working with people. I really like working with people.
I really like people.
I'm a people person.
I'm eager.
I'm eager.
Eager. I think I'm eager.
And I was president of 5.
Offer an employer something meaningful, practical work experience. A nationwide college program called Co-op Education can give you that competitive edge.
And I'd even relocate.
Right, Co-op Education. It's the experience you need for the job you want.
Welcome back to the stadium, I guess we'll call it, in Roseville. 3-0, the Cardinals on top. Both scoreboards coincide. Pinch hitter now for the St. Louis Cardinals, let's call him, Al DeLacy. St. Louis Cardinals and the Oakland Raiders. And Al DeLacy hasn't seen much action. He's only a junior. The umpire takes an opportunity to brush off the plate. Steps back in. And here's a pitch from Davis. That one's fouled back. The Raiders really haven't been able to hit all day. Here's the pitch from Davis. Coon Rapids, on the other hand, hasn't had a big day, but they've gotten the runs they need.
Coon Rapids bench getting on Todd's case a little bit. They had quite a few in the dirt today.
Rockwood sitting right down the line. He's eyeing Todd's pitches directly. I think that's the view we should have.
Yeah.
We can see what's actually happening with those pitches. DeLacy steps back into the box. Davis with the delivery. And it's taken for a strike. 2 strikes now on Al DeLacy. And so Davis walks DeLacy.
Lead runner on. Rocky Boyce, he's had a pretty good day. 1-3, lined out to Poajar and cracked a single and scored Coon Rapids' second run.
And so Rocky Boyce steps in now. Davis eyeing the runner. He'll throw it over. DeLacy back in time. Davis coming back the other way to Boyce. Ground ball, foul. The wind kicking up a bit. Our center field camera drifting a lot.
Stephen Kevin Davis warming up in the bullpen.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Rocky Boyce steps back in. And here's the pitch from Davis. He'll step off. And here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, foul. What's their coach's name?
Sundstrom.
You can hear how Boyce will step back in. Davis now trying to put him away. The Raiders down by 3. Here's the pitch from Davis. He's eyeing the runner at first. And Rocky Boyce is very passively moving out of the way. He was not hit by the pitch as it might have looked.
Boyce a tough out.
Throw over, back in time. Here's a pitch, swung on, fouled off to the right side out on the highway. Boyce now waiting to find another ball. Looks like all the balls are being retrieved now and finding their way back to the umpire. And Boyce steps back in now. The delivery by Davis down in the dirt. I believe that makes it a 2-3 count, or 2-2 count rather. Here's the pitch, fouled back. Another one for the highway. Davis with the pitch. Ground ball. Pojar makes the stop. The long throw over to first. Not in time. And that's going to put men on first and second, Carl. None away.
Pochar had to go back, and he came up with it. Throw a little bit off target. Cornforth could not stay on the bag and make the out.
So John Strand takes his one walk out to the mound to talk to Todd Davis. And Strand makes the motion. And which one is that? I can't tell the
That's
difference.
Steve.
That's Steve, okay.
Steve will be coming out. Kevin and Steve, of course, are a pitching battery themselves. They like to pitch and catch for each other.
And you know, really, if one was a better hitter and one was a better pitcher, they could really take advantage of that, because I don't think the umpires could tell a difference.
Kevin is a Kevin is a very good hitter. Kevin is a hitter, and Steve's more of a pitcher.
So when Steve is pitching, Kevin hits, right? They wear the same number?
No, no.
So Steve Davis taking his warm-up pitches. Todd came off. The Davis brothers could probably form their own pitching rotation if they wanted to.
It'll be interesting who Strand goes with next time out. I know Robbie likes to play out in center field.
I think Robbie will be totally in a relief effort this year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sure Lovedahl is capable of starting.
But it all depends. You know, if you look at it, I don't know if John Strand actually wants to start the Davises.
Yeah.
They might just choose to go kind of like they did last year with
two pitchers and then Lovedahl.
Davis, no, and then Lovedahl would intermittently towards the end of the season pitch a lot.
I think Robbie does prefer playing the outfield. Of course, he throws very hard, though.
I think we probably will see Null.
We'll see. Well, we
A
know
lot.
we'll see Null pitch quite a bit.
Yeah. Question is when and where.
And who will be the second man in the rotation if Lovedahl is not ready to pitch?
I think I'm speculating, and John Strand probably already knows in his mind who he wants to throw next. But I think Lovedahl would be a good choice for that.
I think if Kevin can come in here, or Steve rather, I can't tell. If Steve can come in here and mop it up, I think Steve may be considered for some starting jobs later in the year. Want to give him a little more work.
And so Coon Rapids now with runners on first and second will have the opportunity to put some more runs on the board. They already have too many from a Raider point of view.
First and second, none out.
Baki now. Ready to take the pitch from Davis. And Baki takes one down low, wild pitch down in the dirt, and that's going to advance the runners to second and third. Critical situation, Carl, especially since as far as outs go, there are none.
Yeah, and don't look now, but me and Anthony's up to bat. Or take that back, that was a wild pitch. Anthony, we will see Anthony this inning.
It's going to be hard for Davis to come in and shut down. Of course, if he's hot coming in, he could shut him down quickly. Because psychologically, you know, once you're facing a new pitcher, it's advantage really for the pitcher.
And I don't think you can put Baki on right now. I think you have to pitch to Baki because you don't want to end up pitching with the bases loaded to Anthony.
So Baki steps back in. Steve Davis on the mound with a pitch. The most ideal thing right now would be a strikeout. That's the easiest way for the one Davis brother to get the other Davis brothers runs off of the chart there. That one's up high. Count goes to 3-1, so Steve in a bit of trouble now. Here's the pitch. Force out at the plate. He tags him out. That was a beautiful move. I don't know why the runners ran. It wasn't a force out, as I had said, but
Cornforth was he made the right move that time. And DeLacy just thought Cornforth was going to step on the bag and get one out.
But I'm sure Sundstrom was over there at third, so he called it. And Cornforth had enough speed. There was enough speed on the ball that Cornforth could just pick it up. And he could have gone for the one at first, but he knows what's going on the base paths, and he threw it home.
So
and
I
think actually if DeLacy would have put more speed on it, he might have had it. He thought he had a passive run there. Not the case. And so a good break now for the Raiders. Davis now pitching to Anthony, and the stealing attempt, and just a very light throw there by Fortuna. And so Anthony stepping up with men on second and third. Now I think Rocky Boyce will be more aware of the situation on the base paths. Of course, now there is the one out. Changes the situation slightly. Not very much, though, as far as his situation on the base paths. He should wait a bit before he runs. And, of course, if he waits too long, there could be out at first, and he might not get a chance to advance.
That stolen base by Baki is important because it takes away the possibility for a double play.
Coon Rapids, of course, already has a comfortable lead with 3 runs. Now a timeout, I believe, or a balk. It can't be. You tell me.
That's just a base on balls.
I didn't even see the pitch. I must have been looking at my paper.
Or was a balk? You take it.
No, they didn't even have to throw the pitch for the ball.
Had have been a balk.
Fortuna loaded up the bases. He stuck his hand out. They gave it to him. Either that or Steve Davis has a fast fastball. That one's down in the dirt. No, that is what happened. As our tech crew beats our eyes for us. The batter would never advance on a balk, so I mean, we automatically rule out that situation. Of course, our cameras caught the action, even though we didn't, so. You know what happened. The swing and a miss. Bases loaded, strikeout would be very ideal here. Especially since there's one out already. Davis with a pitch. Down low. Jacobson and Anthony are going to be a good tandem pitching-wise the rest of the season for the Cardinals. Davis lining it up. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, second base. The play at the plate, force out. And he's safe at the plate. Rocky Boyce throws a fourth run out on the board.
Throw by Anderson too far to Fortuna's left. Could not reach back and tag the runner.
He had a force out at the plate, so it was pretty close looking at it. And so a 4-run deficit now for the Raiders. The way the Raiders have been hitting, they'd really have to come alive all of a sudden in order to come back up on top. The top of the 7th inning now, 4-0. Bases are still loaded with only one away. Coon Rapids could 10-run it and it would be all over here. Of course, that's a long way off. But the bases loaded, a home run here would really put the Raiders out of it.
Already a difficult task, considering the offense has been less than adequate today. Kip Jacobson pitching a very good game.
Nice, solid hit into center field. That could drop, and it does. That's going to bring at least one home. And it's 5-0 with the bases loaded, Carl. That'll bring up Sean Christie, the center fielder. And Davis steps back on the mound with the bases loaded. 1 away, 5-0. Cardinals. Here's the pitch. That's up high for a ball. And Davis lining it up. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back, Souvenir. Nope, make that lawnmower food or something. Bit too far for a Souvenir.
Kevin's going to try and find that one.
And that one's taken for a ball. The count now goes to 2-1. Davis again now, strutting even with the batter. And here's a pitch. Down low in the dirt. 3-1 now. The Raiders in trouble. We've got Steve Davis, Kevin Davis, and Todd Davis. Now what the Raiders need is Ron Davis. And they've got it made. They need somebody to slam the door here. Double play unassisted there for Robbie Roper. That's going to get the Raiders out of the inning. They still got a hard task ahead of them. 5 runs behind with 1/2 of an inning remaining. We'll be back right after this.
When I was doing cocaine, I got so selfish. I wish I didn't have no one. No kids, no parents, no people who loved me. I didn't care about nothing. That's how crazy it was. I just couldn't get enough. And you know what? Cocaine's not hip. It's hype. Anyone who tells you it's okay is a liar.
Welcome back here to the stadium. Where's the seats? I don't know, but it's the stadium. You have a half of an inning left, and the Cards in the 7th inning, it says 0. That's quite false. Quite false. They had 2 runs. That makes it 5-0. The overall scoring is correct. And so the Raiders, goose eggs all the way. Well, Carl, we take a look there at all the Coon Rapids players. We know all of them. We have their roster. They all have the same jersey situation. And we'll see Kip Jacobson trying to close it out. Kip Jacobson would really love to start it off with a shutout, Carl.
Yeah, Robbie Roper is going to try to get in his way. He has 1 hit tonight.
Roper watches that one go by.
There's a few quick scores have from a couple days ago. Elk River, softball, Elk River bombing Princeton by 14 runs, 17-3, and
Locker, or not Locker, Roper, Locker wore number 11. I see 1-1 there. And there's one away.
That's 1 down, and one final note in tennis, Forest Lake handling Hill Murray 5-2. So the Pioneers not picking up any wins there.
I did see Locker around here earlier today.
Yeah, I saw Bob and Swenson was also here today.
Oh, why doesn't Johnny Strand carry some extra jerseys around at times like this? He could suit them up pretty quickly.
Need of offense, those guys can supply.
That's in there for a strike, Matt Fortuna. And so Todd Davis now will be following Tuna if he can manage to get some good power on bases. I think we could easily, not Todd Davis, of course, he sat down, but I think it's time for a pinch hitter either way. And Tuna with a hit. It's about time for a rally for the Raiders, but they have a long way to go. And over on first base, Mark Struve guarding him close. And of course, Coon Rapids have their name on all their jerseys. Football, baseball, hockey, apple pie, Chevrolet, hot dogs, you know. Whatever it is, they got to have their name on it.
Strand is going to let Steve Davis hit.
And he's also going to send out a pinch runner for Matt Fortuna.
That pinch runner is Mark Zymet, and we know he has some speed.
Now Davis hitting for Todd. Of course, just the straight pitcher-pitcher switch. So Steve hitting for Todd, obviously. No other mix-ups there. Jumbles. That one hits on the inside for a ball. Lined up by Jacobson. Here's a pitch. That's down low. Calls it for a strike on the bottom. Jacobson, time to start throwing some junk. He's got the room to experiment.
5-run cushion, 1 gone. Just 1 runner on base.
Here's a pitch. Up high, ball 2. Makes it 2-1. Jacobson eyeing first base. Zymet taking his lead. Here's a pitch. Swung on, fouled off. And way too far for Rocky Boyce. And that one's a souvenir. Bill Roslett over there chasing down some balls. And so Davis now stepping in. Jacobson. Once again, he'll eye over to first base. He won't throw it, though. He'll take the pitch. That's up high. Lost it. And Zymet now could be in trouble. The low dive. He is safe.
Oh, Boyce lost his footing, or else Zymet would have been nailed. He's hesitated a little before he got there. Oh, Boyce has a gun. It's not typical of his arm. Slipped a little.
And Davis now stepping back in. Man on second base now, Mark Zymet. Davis, right-handed hitter. That really doesn't help when the wind's coming directly in almost now from center field.
John's just giving him a little experience here. Roseville needs to pick up a couple runs, make this one look better.
Jacobson with a pitch. Hard hit up the middle. And that one's through for a hit. Davis takes a single and Zymet stops at third. It was pretty good there for Zymet. He stopped because he didn't know who could field the ball, but also he screens the potential fielders, so that's important as well.
It looks like Jay Erickson will be coming up to pinch hit. He has to check in first, though.
Well, if I was Jay, I'd be asking for a burger, a shake. It's kind of like a menu there. The umpire pulls out his tablet and puts down Jay Erickson in his book. Number 13, Carl. Most baseball teams would bypass that number. Most buildings bypass that number. But maybe it's a good omen today for the Raiders. Erickson hopefully will be able to connect and find a spot in the outfield. He could possibly score one run with a good hit.
Pretty good-sized baseball player. Maybe he could trick one out of here.
The wind seems to be changing quite a bit. It's now coming almost from left field. We don't have a flagpole out here,
Yeah,
which is kind of bad because we can often tell what direction the wind is going from that.
Almost blowing to right field.
And the Raiders down by 5, the pitch. It was a pitch out there. Boyce thought somebody was going. He called it. That'll give a ball there to Jay Erickson. Jacobson.
Runners are on first and third.
With a pitch. That one's down low. They call it for a strike, though. That'll move the count up to 1-1.
One out. Men on the corners.
Coon Rapids bench making some noise. Jacobson with a pitch. The swing and a miss. Strike 2. Erickson now down on Jacobson. 1-2 the count. Erickson's going to need quite a bit of luck. Tear off one of those numbers on his back and he'll be okay. Here's a pitch. That's in there for a called strike 3 against Jay Erickson. The Raiders now down to their final out. The Raiders hope at least to get a run here. They don't want to be shut out by Kip Jacobson. Jacobson hoping for a shutout.
Another pinch hitter, Kevin Davis, checking in.
And now Jacobson steps off, waiting. Kevin Davis waiting for it from Jacobson. Here's the pitch. It's inside for a ball. Jacobson looking for his final out to complete the shutout. And a total disaster for the Raiders. There's a strike. Here's the pitch. Down low for a ball. Well, if he throws a walk to Davis, a home run would sure do him some help, but a little too little, a little too late looks like what it's going to be for the Raiders. A little of nothing, that is. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's going to make it 2 strikes. Now on Davis, the count will go to 2-2, I believe.
Big rip by Davis. He is a good hitter.
The conditions certainly are not favoring. It's a full count here to Davis. Conditions are not favoring any kind of a home run today. And the wind kicks up. The pitch comes. Swing and a miss by Davis. That's going to end it for Coon Rapids. Kip Jacobson takes the shutout here. And the Coon Rapids Cardinals defeat the Roseville Raiders 5-0. Carl, Roseville just had no opportunities. They did not get anything on the board as far as runs go. Both teams made a couple errors. But overall, the Raiders just didn't show their colors. I guess black and white is what it was today.
Well, Coon Rapids have to be very happy. They're 1-0. They got the hard part done. They had to come down here and play Roseville. And they came away with the win. Roseville will have to go back up to Coon Rapids later on this year, and it's difficult to win after sitting on the bus for half an hour.
And of course, last year, I recall when we followed the Ramsey Rams a lot, the game, first of all, was up at Coon Rapids, and then they came down here, and then Roseville destroyed them. But this time, it was Roseville's home field, so they should have had a bit of an advantage. The first game of the season, though, you can never tell how indicative that should be.
Well, Roseville has some bright spots. Steve Davis came in and did a fair job in relief. Robbie Roper, I thought, had a very good game.
But overall, I don't think we saw any hitting whatsoever.
Not really.
That's something that's got to be addressed. I think, should we come out here with the balls and bats and help them practice or something? Maybe we could sign up for the team. No, seriously, though, Roseville, they know they have talent right now.
Yep.
But seriously, nothing clicked. And I think that's one thing they have to address is the hitting. Defensively, they didn't do that hot either, letting up 5 runs. But you can never expect to win when you don't get any runs on the board. Once again, the final score, 5-0. The Raiders lost a big one here to Coon Rapids. Coon Rapids will take the long ride home, but they'll have a lot of fun. The Raiders will just kind of crawl into their hole until next week. I think John Strand will address the fact that hitting has got to be the problem. But once again, the beginning of the season, you cannot really expect to have everything intact.
Lots of things will change. It'll be Coon Rapids, Roseville, and Mounds here at the end, Chris.
You better. You better be right, or else we'll look like fools with our predictions. Once again, 5-0. We'll see you next time on Baseball 87. For my associate producer, Rich Kemp, Wayne Powers in the truck, Kyle Rosewold, and the rest of the 623 Sports Crew, I'm Christopher Glenn. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.